as a parent, and I don't know what I'm going to the GP with, what are the steps that I can take in advance of going to the GP that might be useful for me to know if it's even worth my time? You know, it's a big effort even to get into a GP these days, or a nurse practitioner.
There's lots of things that can be done in advance, because, for example, if we get a referral through for a young person who has had no community-based intervention whatsoever, chances are that's what our recommendation is going to be, is try these things first and then come back to us. So Tisha mentioned before community health pathways. So all GPs, all nurse practitioners have access to community health pathways, and there are pathways for literally everything. So that includes all the mental health kind of stuff as well. It's got copies of things like so if, for example, if you come wondering about ADHD for your child, we've got specific forms. Here's one I prepared earlier. So just using ADHD as an example, we need these SNAP forms, CADRA forms, which are tick box forms. We need one from a teacher, we need one from a parent, and then we get magically the school support form as well. So this is all necessary information for us to have. And if we don't have this, if a referral comes through asking about ADHD and we don't have all of that information, we have to decline it because we don't have enough information to do the proper triage process that we need to do. And we can't go any further without it.
But you would email them back at that point saying, get this information prepared and contact these NGOs and access these services.
Absolutely.
And then you can re-refer.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah, and just making sure that you've kind of got all your I's dotted and T's crossed and those kind of things. But this stuff can, the GPs can access all of these forms. The school support forms can be accessed by the classroom teachers. They're available to them. They would be supportive for any referral that we get through, really. The it's more really information helpful. We get, the better.
And there are other types of forms for other pathways or other evidence that could be gathered by family in advance?
Yes. Like if they had been through other community-based organisations, something in writing to say this is what happened, this is how many sessions we had, these are the struggles that this young person is still having despite input from our service. All of that stuff is really helpful stuff.
And that's including sometimes the young person will go to a private psychologist, for instance, and that psychologist may do a report. And if there is a report available and then the GP's making that referral to us, for us to have that additional information is really fantastic to actually help us make a really good informed decision for what should happen to the young person.
The more kōrero, the better.
Yeah.
So I think my lived experience is that it's useful to get notes attached to your child's GP records at their medical practice as things occur. If you have an email from a teacher that describes a situation, it can be useful to forward it to your GP practice. Say, please attach this note to my child's record.
Yeah, that's the sort of stuff that we're talking about. That, you know, because you're then, the GP can then share that with us, you know, rather than us then trying to chase the family who are really busy, and if you've already provided that information before, and then we may not have consent to be contacting the school to get that information directly, it just makes our process so much more easy to have as much stuff as possible to make a really good decision.